How do you schedule an appointment with a buff dude? You set something up with his bicep criteri. Happy Friday, my friends. Welcome to the stream. I hope your weekend is getting off to a good start. Oh, that hurt. That hurt my eyes. I don't know why, but that joke made my eyes sting. AKA his biceptionist, Jelly says. We couldn't quite decide. We couldn't quite decide on how to go with that one. And I think the correct answer may have been we shouldn't. But welcome in. Thank you for being here, my friends. I'm sorry for the stark silence. Smash TV on the NES, that's what we've got here, and it has no title screen music. That's not good. That's not a good way to start. My camera is just a little bit off as well, and I'm scared to try and fix it. I've had so many camera issues lately. But I'm going to. I think I need to turn it just a little. Fingers crossed. This isn't good. First of all, I'm turning it the wrong way. I really can't do it. Oh well, I'll just have to sit a little strangely. Sorry for all the nonsense. Welcome in, Dead Zergling. Thank you for being here. First in chat tonight, followed by Conga Line Monkey and Spriven. Thank you, my friends. I hope you are having a wonderful Friday. Jelly, welcome in as well, of course, and thank you for all the delicious snacks. And the sword came at me in 3D, yeah. I guess I should have warned everybody. So, Smash TV NES, I'm very excited for this game. We are going to try something really, hopefully really cool. Hopefully it works, too. We are going to try to play this with a dual NES Advantage setup. I've got both of my Advantages. This one was broken, and I did some tinkering with it, and I got it to work a couple days ago, so fingers crossed that it's still going to work tonight. You can see I left the knobs off of it from when I took it apart. It just wasn't worth it to try and put them back on. But Smash TV on the NES, this game, it lets you play with single player 2 controllers, and you use the D-pad in one hand to move your character and the other hand to fire. It's like a twin stick setup. But I've since I have 2 NES Advantages, I'm plugging both of these in, and I'm going to try and use the joystick on each one and have a twin stick setup with the NES game. I'm very excited to give this a try. I suspect it's probably going to be terrible, but at least maybe we can have fun trying it. So why don't we just begin? Oh, and after this, we're going to do this for a while. And after, I don't know, maybe a couple hours of Smash TV, we're going to switch over to the Commodore 64 and play a couple games there. Not really sure what we're going to do on the C64. Might revisit some things that I haven't been able to beat yet, and or try out something new for the first time. Maybe a little bit of each. But, sounds way too complicated, but I'm glad you're giving it a go, Jelly says. Yeah. Let's see what it's like. So 1 player, 2 controllers. Oh, finally some sound. I mean, it looks like 8-bit Smash TV to me. Ah! Alright, movement and aiming in all directions seems to work. Kind of makes me wish I had like a hand cam as part of my setup, but I mean, I barely have a face cam as part of my setup with all the troubles I've been having lately, so. Ooh. Is that what the extra life looks like? It's a stick figure? Why is there so little music in this version? What, do I push a button? Oh. It's so stark. Hey, Bort Jams, welcome in. Oh no, I didn't pay attention to that map at all. Uh-oh. Welcome to Smash TV on NES. I mean, thank goodness we at least have some of the voices. So, if I had the, like... So, if you have 4 NES Advantage controllers, and you have the, like, 4-player attachment for the NES, you can play 2 players simultaneously with 4 joysticks. In a way, this is actually very difficult because it's hard to balance. It's hard to balance the Advantage controllers on my legs. I don't have very good leverage on the joysticks. What's that? A boot? There's music for a while, but then it goes away. And what a lovely voice it was, Jelly says. Hey, Master Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend. Welcome to Smash TV on NES. The dual NES Advantage experience. Happy Tuesday to you too. Had a bit of whiplash watching one of your old stream recordings. Stumbled upon the exact moment I first joined your stream. Oh, nice. So you said you were watching Banjo-Tooie. So I would guess it was during one of those streams? Oh no! Rip the Deathless Run. The invincibility circle around the character's feet when I pick up that item, the circle that indicates invincibility is so difficult to see. No! Oh my goodness. Halfway through Jolly Rogers and I showed up. I thought I joined when you were in Grunty Industries, but nope. I confuse Grunty Industries with, I can't actually think of what it's called now. The ship level in the first Banjo-Kazooie. The, like, grungy industrial ship, not... Rusty Bucket? Maybe that's it? Is it Rusty Bucket? Rusty Bucket Bay. They have the same vibe, yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised that you weren't here for that. But I did play Kazooie before Tooie, so that wouldn't be possible. There were some real nightmares that happened to me in Rusty Bucket Bay. all those spinning things you have to walk across. I do not think this is the optimal way to play this. I don't know. I guess I'll have to play with controllers just to compare them. No. Quick, get the spread gun. Because the music plays for a while and then it goes silent, like it seems like a bug. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that it's not. The engine room. Apparently there's an underwater theme for the engine room in the game files, meaning in development the floor was going to be flooded, so they changed their minds and made it insta-death instead. That's disgusting. That's disgusting that they did that to us. Oh my! There's so much, flights, like, sprite flickering. With this boss. No! Okay, we have a 0 life. Come on. He rushes at me. There are no continues in this game? Get out of here. This is unbeatable. Oh no. That's heartbreaking. I can't believe that. So this is how we're playing, my friends. I've got, I know I keep mentioning it, but I've got two NES Advantage controllers. So I've got a dual joystick setup. The only issue that I'm having right now is that because I've got to have one on each leg. Like as I move the joysticks, the advantages want to slide off of my legs. I don't have good leverage on the joysticks. I was doing really well for the first handful of rooms. Velcro on pads, Velcro on pies. Hey, Itty, welcome in. Not a bad idea. I need a modified, I need a modified setup. I mean, if I were sitting at a desk or a table and I could just set these down in front of me, I could probably, like, just with the weight of my palms or whatever, hold them against the table and have the leverage I need. I go all out and bolt them to the top of the desk. Alright, so we want to go up as soon as we can. We want to go up and right at every opportunity.
Good luck. You all need it.
Hey, Ricky, welcome in. Best Frownie art so far. Excellent. I'm glad you approve. For those who may not recognize it, it fits really well with Smash TV, the artwork there, but it's actually, what it actually is Mega Man 1. It's the box art Mega Man from Mega Man 1 is the one inspired that Frownie art. I really love it. But I don't have a Smash TV art, but it fits really well. It looks the part for Smash TV. Yeah, Mega Man 1 USA. I think I need to update my list of icons. I've got a few that are actually not listed there, but I can't read the list right now to know which one to say which ones those are. Well, apologies to everyone who likes their current our current icon. We're gonna have to change it. You're gonna have to give me a moment there. Alright, I can actually pause. Japanese box art was awesome, but over time the US box art has become more awesome, Ricky says. A Mile High Roll, welcome in, and Loyal, good to have you both here. Oh, and Christian Cool is there too. Thank you for the lurk. Where is Mumbo? There we go. Appropriate for all of our Banjo-Tooie talk. Alright, let's try and get back in. Oh, before we get back into this, we had a couple new people come in. This is Smash TV on the NES, and we're trying it out with the 1-player, 2 controllers setup. I'm using a pair of Advantage controllers, so I've got a dual joystick setup. It's not treating me very well. I'm playing very poorly. But I'm having fun. How did Zelda go last night, Mile High Roll asks? I played very poorly, but I had fun. Tears of the Kingdom remains great. I still have not advanced the story, but I did complete a handful of shrines. Got myself some more stamina, so next time we play, I will be able to build and climb even taller vertical bridges. I've still got 9 days before I can play Tears of the Kingdom, Tuesday says. I'll not say too much specifically about it, Tuesday. I'm for the most part, I couldn't, like, when it comes to story stuff, I couldn't spoil it anyway, because I've been not doing that. I've just been exploring and doing side stuff, but I'll still not be very specific. Really, really, really bad attempt right now. Playing poorly but having fun is why we come here. Can I play Dark Souls with the NES Advantage? You know what? I think you might actually have enough buttons to play Dark Souls with 2 advantages. If you, like, I mean, if you did some manipulation. If you're really good at inventing things, and, like, could take apart, like, a Switch Pro controller and put it inside of 2 NES Advantages. You'd be close. You'd be close to the number of buttons you need. Actually, you know what? If you played like I play, you'd have enough buttons, because there are a couple actions in the game that are possible in the game that I just never do. It's a slow day tomorrow, so I asked for it off. I have 3 days in a row off. I'm going to hopefully finish Tears of the Kingdom in that time, my Hyrule says. I wish you the best of luck with that. That seems like a very big goal. I guess you play through a lot more I guess you play through a lot more quickly than I do, though. Sir Rack of Lamb, welcome in, and Fuzzy Boots, happy to have you both here. What Zelda is this? Hey, it's a top-down classic 2D style. This is the first I've seen the NES version. It leaves a lot to be desired in looks. I mean, it looks alright for NES. It's got an 8-bit charm to it. Board Jam says Castlevania Rondo of Blood is being translated into English for the very first time by, is that IRG? It is only exclusive E3. I've actually never played Rondo of Blood. I've been holding off on that one. I've got a copy of it on the PSP, I think. But I don't know, I'm saving it for a special occasion or something. It is. I'm 50 hours in, and a limited run LRG, limited run games. Thank you. 50 hours in and like 15% finished. I take my time. I try to complete shrines as quick as possible. Not like you do, but I love watching how you do it. Well, thank you, Mile Hyrule. My strategy for Tears of the Kingdom is basically whenever I go into a shrine, I ask myself, how does Miyamoto intend for me to beat this shrine, and how can I beat it by at the same time doing the minimal things that are intended? So if there's something that it obviously wants you to do, I ask myself, is there any way I can avoid doing that? And then I try to clear it that way. And sometimes it takes a couple hours. Well, I think the shrine that's taken me the longest amount of time, I think it actually wasn't me. The thing about it is it actually wasn't me trying to do that. I was actually solving it the only way I could figure out how to solve it. The one that's taken me the longest, I was solving it the only way I could figure out how to solve it. I think I just came to it poorly equipped. I think that I was supposed to come to that shrine later when I have other or expanded abilities. But I was determined not to back out if I could avoid it at all, and so I struggled for a couple hours and cleared it a different bogus way. But now that I've thought about it since, and I think I've actually realized a much easier way to solve it than what I did. I still don't think it's what was intended, but I think there was another way to do it that would have been a lot easier. If I got to it now, because I've gained some wisdom. No, Mile High Roll. I haven't gotten any I haven't gotten any new or expanded abilities, but there's things that I'm hypothesizing might happen later on. What was the other way? I don't want to say too specifically because like there are people that haven't played it, but the shrine I'm talking about is the one with the boxes and the gap. And I think I would have solved it differently. On your wheel of like pad abilities, I would have solved it differently because I appreciate that 9 o'clock move on your wheel of moves. I appreciate that 9 o'clock move a lot more now than I did when I first solved that shrine. That's all I could explain. Did you happen to finish Shadowgate 64? We did. We did finish Shadowgate 64. That's one. Shadowgate's one of the few games I wasn't able to complete completely on my own. I had to get a little bit of help for that one. I had to get a little bit of help for that one twice in the same place. And it's at least 50% not my fault. because something I tried to interact with, like you had to be almost like pixel perfect to actually interact with it. And so I tried and it failed, and then I made the wrong assumptions. But oh well. Oh well, you can't do them all the hard way. The playthrough of Shadowgate 64, our playthrough of it would be really painful to sit and watch though. Like you would need to keep a finger hovering over the fast forward button because there are a couple times where I got stuck for 2 or 3 hours. It's a very difficult watch. Sir Rack of Lamb said, I have a fun fact about this game that I can't tell you because of spoilers, but this will be fun to watch. Right on, right on. We're going to dive in. I'm going to make another attempt at it. I'm sorry. I'm going to repeat this so much that it's going to get obnoxious, but we have new people coming in all the time. So this game allows for one player, 2 controllers. And so we are using 2 NES Advantage controllers. This one was broken. I'm really excited because this one was broken and I opened it up and cleaned it out and got it working again. And so I'm really excited. I'm really excited I get to use both of these for a dual stick setup for this game. This is actually technically the first time I've ever played Smash TV in any form with twin sticks. So far, I've only played it on the Super NES and the Commodore 64 Mini. And both of those times I had like basically a Super Nintendo style controller to emulate the 2 D-pad setup with D-pad and buttons. But now I've actually got 2 joysticks. And it's more of a hassle than it is an advantage. It's very awkward to play with these. How are you doing anything? The left stick is character movement and the right stick is firing in each direction. And the only other buttons that I need, well, I need the start button to start the game, and I need the B button to lower the map screen. So you fire with the right stick. Whatever direction you hold the stick in, it automatically fires in that direction. It's a twin stick game. Like the arcade machine would just have 2 joysticks and like maybe a start button. Oh yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool genre of game. Um, the twin stick shooter. The only other one that I've ever played though is there was a game on the Xbox 360, the Xbox Live. There was a game, it was called I Made a Game with Zombies in It, and I loved that game. That game was a lot of fun. I think there's a version of it. It might, I don't know if it's still there. I think there is or was a version of it on Steam, but I've heard they changed it. So I don't know if I would like that as much. But it was just it was an amazing game. It was a $1 game, and it was fantastic. It was the one of the best dollars I've ever spent on gaming. People always act so surprised that Frownie enjoys doing terrible things to himself, Zergling says. I I have a very I have a very adventurous spirit. I like I like to I like to try new things and to take on challenges. And you know, it's only a very minor detail that every challenge I like to take on happens to be pointless and irritating. This is a bit difficult because I've got one advantage controller on each leg, and so I don't have very good leverage on the joysticks. They tend to rock from the base of the controller tends to rock from side to side and want to slide off of my leg. I will before the night's over. I think switch to regular NES controllers just so I can get a comparison for what it feels like. But we're gonna hang out with these for quite a while yet. Brownie's just the sort of guy that enjoys playing first-person shooters with a trackball. I would try that. I would try that. Actually, I would try that, Zergling. If I played games on Steam, I don't know if I don't know that it'd be any good, but I would 100% try that because I use a trackball mouse just as my regular mouse. Big money. Big prizes. I love it. Oh, that's a 1-up. The 1-up is just a stick figure. I'm not 100% sure that that something isn't wrong with my copy of the game, because like, we start off with music in every room, but then it goes away before the room finishes. Maybe I'm just supposed to be clearing these rooms a lot faster. It's normal. Well, then I'm not convinced that every copy of this game isn't bugged. I remain unconvinced that the falling silent is part of the developer's intent. Sounds fun. Play like Doom. That's pretty retro as far as PC games go.
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
Those bowling balls are so difficult to eliminate, they're just really not worth trying to take out, as long as there are other enemies in the room. On their own, they're not bad, but they monopolize so much of your ammunition. It's very difficult to justify spending the time on them. This room is where it all started to fall apart for me before. This tank trouble really is trouble. The title was not hype. Yuck. That wasn't even a tank. That was just regular enemy trouble. I think this letter L is supposed to be a boot that makes me, and is supposed to make me move faster. I don't actually feel any increased movement speed. I just, like, want to have to take the game's word for it, I guess, but... I know there is an item like that in Super Smash TV. So my Smash TV experience is limited to Super Smash TV on the Super Nintendo and Smash TV on the C64. Those are the only versions I've ever played. I actually haven't ever played the arcade game or an arcade accurate port yet. Did I beat the Super NES one? No way, Sir Rack of Lamb. No way, no how. It is impossible. It's so difficult. I've made it up to level 3 a couple times, but that's the best I've ever done, and probably the best I ever will do. I'm gonna keep trying it. It's something I play every now and then. And like I'll keep trying it, you know, basically for forever, I guess, but no, I don't expect to ever beat it. This guy is really tough in this game. I don't like, he doesn't charge you like this in the others, that in the Super Nintendo one. You really have to keep your distance from him. In the Super Nintendo, you can kind of just hang out at the top of the screen above him, and you're just kind of fine for most of the battle. He's much more difficult here. I don't even think I'm damaging him. The regular laser doesn't, the regular bullets don't damage him in the Super Nintendo one. You have to have a upgraded weapon to even be doing damage. Though I think my regular bullets did take his arms off, so, in this one. There we go. An upgraded weapon, thank you. Never heard of Smash TV? It's really good, Loyal. It's a arcade game. It's really tough, though. Should see how terrifying this guy is shopping at Walmart. Thank you for the GGs. It's probably about as far as we're gonna get. Is stage 2. There are no continues in this version. That's the no continues is kind of heartbreaking. Oh no, I was doing really well. I was focused on picking up that missile weapon. All I was thinking about was getting over there, and I walked right into enemy fire, I think. I have to scoot, working at 5 a.m. Need sleep. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for stopping in, Sir Rack of Lamb. Sleep well. Have a smooth day at work tomorrow. I didn't look at the map. Oh no. I'm gonna guess down. I used my map time to chat. I didn't look at it, so I don't know. I don't think it matters in this one, though. So I'm not an expert on Smash TV. There's a lot of it that, you know, I'm ignorant of because I like avoid information on games I haven't beaten. But I do notice that, like, in Super Smash TV, one of your collectibles is these keys that show up everywhere, and I've yet to see a single key in this game. And I think the keys in the Super Nintendo game are for like a true ending situation. You're supposed to collect X number of keys, but this game, I think Sir Rack of Lamb's like fun fact or spoiler is probably that the true ending from this is either automatic or missing because there are no keys. Or maybe there's different, or maybe there's a different requirement for it. Like, beat the game without losing a life. Which, no thank you. Is that it?
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
I'd buy that for $1. These big guys are way easier in this. They take a lot more fire in the Super Nintendo version. I think, anyway. I might be confusing them with another enemy. Oh, give me that one up. Oh no, I walked into a snake. instead. Turtles nearby. Yeah, the Beyblades. I think one of the weapons is missing from this game, too. I haven't seen the peanut weapon. Which, you know, it's kind of like good riddance. No, I walked right by that. Oh, goodness. Buffalo herd. Yeah, how did I miss that? There are too many snakes. There are officially too many snakes. I don't know how I survived walking through that crowd. Okay. Well, I didn't survive walking through the next one, so it all evened out there. Ah, this room lasts forever. This has got to be the last room before the boss. There's just too many enemies for it to be otherwise. I didn't think they were ever going to end. That wasn't... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's still not the boss. I know I was in trouble. I missed the spread shot. Invincibility, please. Laser Death Zone. I am never gonna reach the boss. I probably haven't even been through all that many rooms. It just feels like I've been through hundreds of rooms. If I died right next to that invincibility, I was gonna scream. Is that it for this room? That actually wasn't too terrible. Oh, goodness. Here it is. Stage 2 boss, the guy who like ruins everything. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. This is the kind of weapon you want for this guy. That was not going too terribly. Phase 1 actually wasn't that bad. I got lucky there. Phase 2 wasn't that bad. Wow, this guy's easy in this game. Oh my goodness, that guy is the worst part of the Super Nintendo game. Like, I can make it up to that boss in the Super Nintendo game. I can make it up to that boss on a single credit if I'm, like, top of my game. Like, that's the best I've done. But that guy was, he was super easy in this one. You did call it. Scarface is going down, you said. He's so much easier in this game. No dice. So I've made it to stage 3 on the Super Nintendo a couple times. But I only ever make it a few rooms in. Oh no, that was an invincibility and I just sat there and let it not be collected by me. What an awkward sentence. Okay, I want to go down, right, and then up, right. I guess we always want to go to the right. No turtles allowed. Fine by me. So I have the Genesis version of this game as well. It's actually a recent pickup. And it lets you do the same thing in the Genesis version with the 2 controllers. But I don't have any Genesis arcade sticks. But I just remembered. Can you plug an Atari joystick into the Sega Genesis? Because you can plug a Genesis controller into the Atari. Does it work in reverse? I mean, I know it plugs in, but does it work? Because even though I don't have any arcade sticks for the Sega, I could plug in 2 Atari joysticks. I wonder if I could plug in Atari paddles. I wonder what effect that might have, if anything. Probably nothing. I mean, it probably wouldn't be anything good. I guess we just have to experiment. I can play Smash TV on the Genesis with 2 Atari joysticks. That would be so much worse than this. Because this is actually pretty not terrible. I am doing bad. I need to stop talking and keep my head in the game. I've lost a lot of lives in this room. Well, I think it's over. I think I took my head out of the game for too long. There's no recovery. I'm sorry to have sabotaged our run like that. Frownie isn't suffering enough, apparently. He's already dreaming up new ways of self-torture.
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
There we go. Big extra lives. That's what I want to see. Keep your money and prizes. Just give me extra lives, please. Another thing that's missing is there's a screen clear item. It's supposed to be an item that wipes all the enemies from the screen, but that item doesn't exist in this one. I'm just now noticing. I know no one's gonna believe that I'm upset. It looks like I'm playing badly on purpose. Yeah, 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 the fire doubler. I don't know that I would have called it that. I don't know what I would have called it. The buddy robot? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the fire doubler. Your term for it makes more sense. But yeah, that doesn't exist either, which is weird because, like, I don't know, these things could exist in the game. I wonder why they took them out. Surely it'd be easy enough to wipe all this. Surely it's harder to draw all the sprites on the screen than to wipe them out, right? Which, speaking of which, this is an astronomical amount of sprites for an NES game, is it not? I'm kind of surprised the console isn't liquefying as it struggles to draw all this. No, there was a spread shot there. No, I walked into an enemy. There's some slowdown. Maybe that's why no fire doubler. Witness Total Carnage. I've never played Total Carnage. It's like a spiritual sequel to this. I think I have it on the Super Nintendo though. I think I own a copy. I think it's in my box of uninventoried games. I'm pretty sure I have it on the PlayStation 2 in the same collection that has this game, or another disc from the same like collection series. No. Well, I got lucky there. Hey, Sonata number 9. Welcome in, Sonata. Happy Friday. Welcome to Smash TV on the NES. We are playing with a dual NES Advantage controller setup. It is pretty fun. It's a little difficult to balance the two controllers on my legs. I've been doing pretty well, but I'm on my last life, and I made it real far, and then I just I didn't keep my head in the game, and I blundered a lot of lives real quickly, and it broke my spirit, and now I'm just barely hanging on for probably another, like, few seconds. The game is not giving me any more lives, so... that life is so far away! Alright, it gave me a life. Hey Sparrow, welcome in. Happy Friday, my friend, or Saturday to you. Rip. Rip the run. Yeah. So on the NES, there's an option for one player, two controllers. And like what they expect you to do is to use the D-pad. Is to use one D-pad in each hand. You hold the controller sideways. And one D-pad moves the character, the other D-pad fires in the directions. And that simulates your two sticks. But if you happen to have two NES Advantage controllers, you can plug them both in, and you can make it work. This one was broken, and this week I opened it up and I cleaned it out, and I got it working. So I'm at least the stick works. The buttons don't actually work correctly. The buttons are still messed up. It reads inputs that aren't happening, basically. And I don't know if I could ever fix it, but it doesn't none of them interfere with this game. So that's all that matters for me, for my purposes. This one I think works fine. I don't think there's any problems with the other one. I don't know, because this is actually my first time ever using these. other than testing them out around the time I first got them to see if they work. Like, I don't like these controllers, so I never use them for anything. But for Smash TV, I had to give it a try. Saturday for me, Sparrow says. Must be nearing Saturday for yourself by now. Yeah, we're about an hour into Saturday, Sparrow. Sticks are only good at arcades. Yeah, I mean they don't have these aren't made with like micro switches, right? Like a real arcade stick. They basically it's the exact same board that would be inside of the NES under the D-pad. It's the same board, just stretch out a little bit, and with this contraption sitting on top of it. Now do it with the power glove. If I had two power gloves, 100% I would. I mean, I think they work fairly reliably for what they are, Sparrow. But I mean, they're just, they're just like they seem to be like competently made and like they're fairly tough. They've got metal base plates to weigh them down and everything. So like they feel like a decently solid thing, but they're not. They're still made with just regular controller technology inside, so that's why they're not great. Like it's maybe I'd say the NES Advantage controller is maybe just slightly better than that C64 mini joystick. Not the fancy one like you have, but the cheap one that I have. To be fair, not all cabinets had the micro switches. Yeah, this is true. I'm sort of comparing it to the best. But I was just speculating for a moment. Imagine having to flail all your arms around to play. It would be a nightmare. It would be a night. I love the idea though. Fuzzy boots. Frownie with 2 power gloves. He's too strong. It will get to his head and he'll finish Battletoads using them. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? We did so well. I kind of feel like I have to give this another try. I'm sure it will be worse than the previous attempt, but we have to do it. And Frownie's eye will turn purple for some reason. Eyes. Okay, thank you. I would appreciate at least having both of them. Isn't there an AI generated image of you doing something like that? I've lost track of the AI images, Sparrow. Jelly went a bit wild with those for a while. I was just speculating too. If you weren't here for it, I have this game on the Sega Genesis as well, and the Genesis version of this game allows for the same one player, two controllers setup. And I don't have the Genesis arcade sticks. But I was wondering if I could maybe plug Atari joysticks into the Sega Genesis and play Smash TV on the Genesis with two Atari joysticks. It would be awful. It would be an awful experience. The first round she did, there was this one in the bottom left corner where you have a purple beanie and headphones. It's like Avatar worthy. I mean, some of the AI art came out pretty well. I believe you absolutely 100% can because I used the Master System and Genesis controllers with the C64. Yeah. Yeah, so I think that'll work, but I think it'll be terrible. but I think I'm going to do it. We won't do it tonight. Maybe we'll do that next week, because I don't want to dig out the controllers. But that is something I think I'm going to try. Do you have the Quick Shot Pros? They would be much more comfortable. Oh, those like flight, those like C64 flight sticks? No, I wish I did. I actually don't have any flight sticks at all. I only have the like standard small joysticks, and I've got some of the tennis paddles. I'm going to try plugging the paddles into Smash TV as well and just see what happens when you turn them. I imagine nothing good, but just for the sake of science, we'll try it out. Ones with the buttons on top. Probably quite rare now, as they broke very easily. Oh no, I would probably break them playing this then. This is a stressful game. Let me have a bite of cheese. We'll jump back in. I want to give this about another half an hour to an hour, and then we'll switch over to the C64 for the rest of the night. Thinking at least one more run with the Advantage controllers. I would like to try it with 2 regular controllers as well, with the D-pads, just because I've never played it. Like, this is my first time ever playing this game at all. This version of it. So I want to see what playing it with 2 D-pads feels like as well, just to try it. But another Advantage round. Here we go. If I had the device that lets you do 4 players on the NES, and I had 2 more Advantages and a friend, you could actually do 2 players, 4 controllers. And those 4 controllers could all be the NES Advantage, and both players could have twin sticks. A prime example of cheap assembly. Having fingers at the base of the stick to press the directions inside just seems like you're asking for it to break. Oh, and they did. The one problem with trying to use Atari sticks on the Genesis for this game, though, is, the Atari controller only has 1 button, and I don't know what the Genesis is going to read that button as. If it's going to think it's the A button or the start button, and I don't know what you need to press to actually start, because, if the Genesis reads the Atari button as the A button, but the game is one of those where you have to press start to start, then, like, I'd have to swap out the controllers in order to do it. And, like, while that's doable, that's also very annoying. Because basically I'd have to start the game, swap the controllers, and run back to my couch. Because I wouldn't be able to pause it. Like, the left, my right stick gets stuck on the down and left positions. Oh, nope, it didn't get stuck that time. But it gets stuck on down. And I take my hands off and it's still firing. That's not good. You put a picture of the Discord. Thank you, thank you. I'll gladly check that out and take a moment to laugh at some, you know, less than stellar engineering. Here's the thing, though. If I'm gonna laugh about anyone's engineering, I mean, just look at my Tears of the Kingdom streams. I have zero room to talk. I build the worst structures imaginable. The NES analog, the N64 analog stick is absolute perfection by comparison. How cool is it when the bullet firing is in sync with the music?
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
I was just a millisecond too late for that power-up. Every room eventually falls silent. I got an extra life, but the lives cap at 9. I mean, I'm not surprised, because there's only space for a single digit, but it's heartbreaking to pick up a life and not have it increment, because lives are so precious in this game. I guess your extra lives are really precious in a lot of games. Well, it's not like Mario 3. You get tons of lives in that game. Hey, Budafingers, welcome in. Welcome to the dual NES Advantage Smash TV experience. It's pretty much exactly what I thought it was going to be. It's a little better than I thought it was going to be. It's very awkward. No. Alright, and the lives really do cap at 9. It's not one of those where, like, it only shows 9, but it's secretly counting them in the background. I didn't think it would be, but I did kind of, hope, a little bit. Rip the Deathless Run.
I'd buy that for $1.
I haven't tried the Genesis version of this yet, Sparrow, so I mean I don't know what its audio samples are gonna sound like. I just picked up the Genesis version a couple weeks ago. I haven't given it a try. So, compared to the Super Nintendo version, that's annoying. Compared to the Super Nintendo version, this boss is way harder, but the Stage 2 boss is way easier. That was an invincibility. This power-up isn't gonna do me any good. You have to get too close to him for that power-up to be viable. He's really tough. He's really tough in this version because his laser has a lot more reach and he charges you. He doesn't rush at you in the Super NES the same way. So you gotta stay really far away from him if you can. Rise from your grave. Rubinger says, doing okay, working on a project. Fiddling with parts at the moment. I hope that's going well. Hey Dynamite, welcome in. Welcome to Smash TV on the NES. It's a pretty stripped down version of the game, but it's not terrible. It's so weird that the music dies out in every room. I'm down to 6 lives? I didn't think I died that many times. That's sad. I thought I was doing so much better. Down and then up. I'm glad it's retro. To be honest, I wish you were exclusively a retro streamer. I get it. Most of the time I am. If you look at my back catalog of what we've done on the stream, it's pretty light on anything like post the year 2000. I guess that's not entirely. I guess that's not in. Well, it is, but I have played a couple. This year has been different. I've played more on the Switch in the past few months. But we're thoroughly retro tonight. Well, I was trying to think what modern things have I done this year, and see that's the thing. I'm doing Tears of the Kingdom. I was playing that Kirby game. I played through that Kirby game. That was a Wii game. It was on the Switch, but it was a re-release of a Wii game, which I wouldn't call the Wii retro, but it's certainly not the newest thing in the world. And we did AO the Clown, which is a new game, but I mean, is it really? Everything else, I think aside from those, I mean, I could be wrong. Aside from Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby, and AO the Clown, though, everything else has been retro, I think, so far this year. Well, we did Dark Souls, too, but that was... Dark Souls was continued from last year. I don't have a very good memory, so... Don't listen to me, I'm unreliable. Yeah, I'm using the two Advantage sticks, and it feels okay. It's better than I thought it was gonna be, because I had very low expectations, and it's better than I thought it was gonna be. It's still not great, because like I've got one on each leg, and I don't have very good leverage on the joysticks. The base of the controller wants to slide around and wants to fall off my leg. So I don't know that I could defend this as the optimal way to play. It's the only way I've ever played it so far, though, the NES version. I haven't even tried to use two regular controllers yet. This is my first time playing this version of this game, is tonight. And so far I've only used the Advantage controllers. If I had them like, if I had these controllers weighted down on a table in front of me, it would be a lot better of an experience. Like if they didn't move around so much, but I mean, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry for the lurky night from me, Loyal says. I'm knocked out from work. Gonna hit the hay. Thank you again, Frownie, for the fun stream. Thank you for being here, Loyal. I'm sorry to hear work's been rough. I hope you rest and fully recover, though. And thank you for the lurk. I appreciate having you nearby. No need for an apology. You know, I get being worn out. I hope you can rest and recover, though. No, when we raid out into other streams, I'm pretty guilty of slipping quickly into a lurk after we raid, because I tend to be at the end of my energy limit at the end of our streams. Who needs modern when the C64 exists, Conga says. Some of the best times I've had on this stream have been with the C64. Like, easily. Lester was an amazing game. I know that's a modern C64 game, so maybe that's a bad example to start with. Smash TV on the C64 was super fun. Snoopy was super fun. We've had some really good times. Those are just some of the recent ones, too. When are you get Frownie into KPDR? I don't know what that is. Low power TV station? Good luck, you'll need it, yeah. That is the rarely has there been a more appropriate line. Please. Give me a good weapon. I'm bleeding lives. We made it so far. This is not a way for this to go. Come on. It's over. I don't know why this room is suddenly so terrible. Everything was going fine. Everything was going fine. Why am I suddenly falling to pieces? What did I lose? 5 lives in like 20 seconds? Get me out of here. I'm so upset. I'm so very upset. That was just disgusting. There's no recovery. Saw something about Kraid and Ridley over there. I don't know if it's safe to stand in the rooms in this one. Hey Persephone, welcome in. Great to have you here. Hope you are doing well. Taz was good times, the best times. Oh my goodness. Taz was rough.
I love it.
Taz was the worst. I don't have high hopes of getting past this guy, but he is way easier than the Super Nintendo version. He can still definitely 100% kill me, but... No! He's so much easier in this than the Super Nintendo. A cyclone is misery. A tornado is terrible. A hurricane is horrible. A gale is garbage. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was reading all the ofs as is. This is bad overall by comparison, but it's not that bad at all. Although, all things considered, I would play it. I mean, I mean, yeah, it's an NES game. It's gonna be, it's gonna be worse than the arcade version, but I think it's a fairly, competent rendering. Oh my goodness, my lives refilled. I didn't know that happened. We've got 5 lives. The Genesis Taz games are kind of alright. The Game Boy ones were worse. The Super Nintendo game is like almost good, but frustrating and impossible. And Taz Munching Madness is like one of the greatest calamities of all time. I counted too much on my Beyblades to protect me. No! I'm playing bad again. Well. This isn't why I'm playing bad. This is just something I'm noticing at the same time. My fingers hurt so much from the way I've been holding these this whole time. It's no excuse for playing this badly. Like the joints in my fingers feel real stiff because I've been applying like pressure to them in this like the same position for 2 hours. And now when I tried to move them to relax that, and they just kind of screamed in pain. I could not have sabotaged this run worse than the way that I performed in this room. I blame Taz. Thinking of Taz made me do worse. Hey, Game and Fit, welcome in. Started watching you stream when you were doing Taz.
Big prizes. I love it.
We're kind of like, I don't know, we might be like overdue for another marathon of jank. I've got a handful of games like in my pocket that I know are going to be real miserable experiences that I've been sitting on a while, like waiting to marathon. But I don't know. I'm really going to be trying people's patience, I think, with some of the stuff I want to unleash. Jankathon 2, Revenge of the Jank. I mean, I've lost count of how many jank marathons we've done. I guess 3. I guess we've done 3. We've done because we've done Jankuary twice, and then I did that, and I did an endless jank marathon in July of last year that went all the way into September. We did ET games. We did Powerpuff Girls and Scooby-Doo games simultaneously. And then we did Taz games, I think are the 3 big marathons we've done so far. All right, I'm gonna give this one more try tonight, my friends. But I'm actually gonna retire the Advantage controllers, and I'm gonna try and play this with a pair of regular NES controllers. I've never tried the game like that. I expect I'll be a lot more comfortable. And if anything else, it's gonna let my fingers relax some. And so we'll see. I'll give it one or two more tries. I might need a throwaway attempt to get used to playing with the D-pads. But give me just a moment. I've got to step away. I'm actually going to have to look for a moment to find a second NES controller. I have tons of NES controllers. I just forgot to get one out before the stream, and I'm not sure which of these boxes they're in. So I'll be away for just a minute or two while I switch the controllers. I'll be right back with you. All right, sorry, that was way slower than I anticipated. Okay, so now we've got the regular NES controllers. And we're gonna give it a go with the 2 D-pad method. And see what this is like. Hopefully this will feel a lot more natural to me. And we'll do even better. But, I don't know. Immediate problem, the wire coming out between my fingers on my right-hand controller. Kind of feels like playing with 2 Joy-Cons. Like having the 2 halves of your controller separated like this. I guess for people who played a lot of Wii games with like the nunchuck, that probably doesn't feel odd. I always felt weird using the nunchuck setup for the Wii. I never, I mean, I barely ever played it. But I certainly never got used to it. Diagonal inputs are, of course, much less, are, of course, much more awkward, like this.
Good luck. You won't need it.
Good. So even though the Advantage only has it's a stick on top of a D-pad, right? It doesn't actually have triggers for the diagonals. It just it just simulates them by pressing the 2 directions simultaneously, up and left or up and right or whatever simultaneously, which maybe is how a lot of joysticks work. I don't actually know if joysticks, more advanced joysticks, tend to have 8 inputs or if they only have 4. But the Advantage, even though it only really has the 4 inputs, and it's simulating the diagonals, so to speak, they felt really natural. The diagonals felt really natural with those joysticks in a way that they most certainly do not with the D-pad. My takeaway from this might actually be that the 2 Advantage joysticks are better than the two regular controllers. I don't think I thought at all that I was gonna say that, but my immediate impression is I think that might be the case. I bet the 2 controllers, like the 2 gamepad setup, is probably a lot better on the Genesis because the Genesis has that disc-shaped D-pad. So that I would guess that probably feels a lot more natural. I mean, this isn't bad. This does the job. It's just, like, I'm just speaking in terms of comparison. If I hadn't just been playing with the Advantage joysticks, I would probably be going on and on about how awesome this is. Yuck. Boss time?
I'd buy that for $1.
I feel like I lost track of how long I've been on the stage. Very surprised to be coming up to the boss. His laser is so much worse than this one. His range is unbelievable. I'd rather have him charging at me than lasering at me. No. Yeah, he can reach clear across the board with the laser in this one. That's unbelievable. I'm not sure if I got that one up or not. It's a lot of invincibilities. If the game wants to keep spawning those, I won't complain. But I gotta get to them. Film at 11. Hey, Long, welcome in. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you are well. Welcome to Smash TV on the NES. We're playing it with two gamepads, two regular controllers now. I had been playing it for the first couple hours of the night. I was using two NES Advantage controllers. I had a joystick in each hand. It was amazing. But I wanted to see, this is probably our last run of the night, I think. And I wanted to see, because I've never even played it. My first time playing it was tonight. So I've only played it with the Advantage until this run here. I wanted to see what the regular D-pads feel like. And it's pretty good, though I actually think that the Advantage joysticks are better, which I did not expect I was going to say. I think it's actually better with the Advantage joysticks. But this is, I mean, this is just fine, the two D-pads. Diagonals are a little awkward. But it's alright. I'm having fun. This is a really fun version of this game. It's, it's weaker in every category, but it's still a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot of comparing it to the Super NES game, because that's the version that I really know. Hey, Mansto, welcome in.
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
It's really very similar to the way we were playing it with the C64, with the Super Nintendo style gamepad. Because that's with the C64, basically it was the same as the Super Nintendo setup, where you've got a D-pad and you've got 4 directional buttons simulating a D-pad. I like it a little better, I think, with the 2 D-pads, because it's nice to have a symmetrical feel under each thumb. So you know it's a real shame? A real missed opportunity? Where we could have had a really great Smash TV experience? I mean, like, without joysticks? If you couldn't have joysticks, I think if you couldn't have joysticks, the best controller for Smash TV would be the Virtual Boy controller. Because check it out, the Virtual Boy controller has a D-pad on each side. The N64 controller could work as well, yeah, but I mean, it works the same way. It would. It's kind of the same experience as the SNES controller, though. Maybe a little better, because the Super Nintendo controllers are not in, like, the buttons on the Super Nintendo are not in a perfect diamond. Right, it's the shape of the buttons is wider than it is tall by just a little, and the C buttons on the N64 are a perfect diamond, or a perfect square, tilted rather. So I actually might be slightly better. But still, the Virtual Boy, I think, with a D-pad under each finger, I think the Virtual Boy is king of the non-stick Smash TV experience. Sadly, no Smash TV exists on the Virtual Boy for us to try it out, but theoretically, I think Virtual Boy is king. I want to try dual joysticks on the C64. Yeah, then that might be a better way to do it too. You would want, though, so the thing about using the Advantage controllers is, like, I had them set on my legs, and the base kind of wanted to move around a lot, so getting good leverage on the joystick was difficult. You really, if you're using two separate joysticks, then you really want, like, suction cups or, like, a heavy, like, you want them mounted on something. Having them, like, loose on your lap is more awkward than ideal. I mean, it was fine, it was workable. I played with it and I did all right, but it would have been much better if I had them mounted on a table. Something with some weight, with some real weight to it, to keep them from moving. Otherwise, I mean, you really just, I mean, I think thumbsticks are the way to go. Like the PS2 controllers, like if you have joystick, like if you're gonna have joysticks, I think the PS2 controller is probably the optimal situation with joysticks, because you've got a symmetrical thumbstick situation. I've never played the PS2 version though, because I've been wanting to beat the other versions first. I expect the PS2 version is going to be such a better experience that it'll kind of ruin the other versions for me, and so that's why I hold off on playing it. Saw a controller where you could swap the D-pads and the sticks. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. That might be kind of cool. More of a modular controller. Yeah, if you could plug 2 D-pads in, that would be pretty cool. Having 2 D-pads rather than a D-pad and 4 buttons, the 2 D-pads is better because of the rocking motion of the D-pad. How, like, you know, when you press down, the D-pad, like, the up button comes up towards you. That having that rocking motion under your thumb is really... It makes for a much better experience than the 4 separate buttons. I mean, that's why, like, you know, like, trying to play a retro game with the Joy-Cons on the Switch is horrible. Like, trying to play an NES game and using those, like, 4 buttons for a D-pad on the Joy-Con, terrible. So, like, everyone knows, 4 buttons is not a replacement for a D-pad in any way, because you need that rocking motion of the button under your thumb. Oh, no. The 4 face buttons are not swappable? Garbage. Oh, what a tedious room. You put dual D-pads where the joysticks are? That's not bad. Hey, welcome in Defiant Salem. Comic knowledge and burritos with sour cream. I'm gonna break your heart. Sour cream is one of the many foods I just don't eat. When I order a burrito, here's the ingredients that I get inside my burrito when I order it. Meat. End of list. End of list. I'm a monster. I'm a monster. I'm afraid of all foods. I don't order burritos very often. Alright, I am actually going to pause for a moment and catch up with the chat because I feel like things are running away from me. Taco meat, onions, tomatoes, banana or jalapeno peppers, red sauce, and nacho cheese. So I could eat it with the meat and onions and tomatoes and the peppers. I could be fine. Maybe even the red sauce. Like if someone served me a burrito with those things in it, I would be all right. I'm very squeamish about mixing dairy and produce though, and so that's why like sour cream couldn't be on there. Cheese couldn't be on there for me. But I could eat a good portion of those ingredients. I just wouldn't normally ask for anything though. Like if I were ordering a burrito in a restaurant, I would just ask to have it stuffed with only meat, just because that's more convenient than listing the things that I want left out. Or trying to explain my like insane food preference rules. Is warming up some late night Greek poutine, Mansta says. That I've never had any version of that. Oh, you said without. I'm sorry, I read that as with. You hate it, that's why you said without. I read it reversed. All right, good. We're on the same page there almost. I mean, I still can't eat your full order, but we're close. We're closer than I thought we were. Sour cream makes you violently ill? Poutine with feta cheese added, basically, Mansta says. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever eaten feta cheese. Because that's something I tend to, like, I think I only tend to come across in context of a salad, and I don't tend to eat salads. I had oatmeal for dinner tonight. I had oatmeal. Just, old-fashioned oats with milk and walnuts and banana. I just pour it all into a bowl, and I eat them cold. And the oats are still crunchy and tough and crunchy. I'm a monster. But that's how I like my oatmeal. Oh, and I had some scrambled eggs with some hot sauce. As well. So, kind of a simple breakfasty dinner for me. Something quick and easy and cheap tonight. Boo, not cool? I don't know what that's in reference to. Red sauce, salsa, nacho cheese, ghost pepper sauce, guac, and chipotle ranch. Whoa. Someone asked if the parts flying off of the boss in their destruction scene hurt you, and I actually don't know. Last time I was here, so it didn't hurt me just then, but because I had invincibility. I still had an invincibility item active when I walked through them just then. And on the last life, I walked past when he was blowing up. I walked past his like parts coming off, and it didn't hurt me. But also, I was kind of far away, so I'm not sure if it didn't hurt me because they don't hurt you, or because I was at the end of its range. So I still haven't figured out if they hurt you in this game. So I just assume they do and try to avoid them. My top 5 burrito / taco sauces, Salem says. And mild sauce from Taco Bell. I like most cheese, except those really stinky soft cheeses. I'm slowly, like, I'm trying to get more adventurous with cheese, but I don't know. I don't usually have opportunities to push like my cheese boundaries in a way that is sort of incremental and safe to my fragile mind. You know, because like when I try a new cheese, I want to try it in a plain context, where I don't have to worry of how it might interact with some other thing and weird me out. So I'm basically reliant on like party situations where there's like a cheese board or something. Because I'm not exactly going to go out and spend a whole lot of money on a bunch of, like, exotic cheeses that I may not be able to stand. Just for the sake of experimentation. Exotic cheeses, like sharp cheddar. Cheese goes Super Saiyan when you toast or fry it. If you don't like them, you can send them to me, Mile Hyrule says. I appreciate you. I appreciate you making that sacrifice, Mile Hyrule. It's very noble of you to always have my best interests in mind. Come on. I think I could have got that guy. Before he got me. Not that the game exactly cares what I think, but I care what I think. Nice, I got that spread gun before it blinked out of existence. And the invincibility, and another one. Let's go. These bowling ball enemies have an astronomical amount of health. That red wine cheese you recommended was so good. I need to buy another block. Mile High Roll says, "You know what? You know what happened to me, Mile High Roll? That cheese." It went way up in price for me. The block that I typically buy, went from $5 to $8, so I can't really justify buying it anymore. I'm heartbroken. Same brand makes a balsamic cheese. I might have to get that one next. I've tried a couple of their other ones. Um, I've tried a couple of, like, their other varieties of that same cheese and other cheeses they make. Like they do an Asiago block that's got like herbs and oil. And that the Bella Vitano, I think it is, the main one that's in the Merlot. I've had that in like a raspberry ale. They did a version that was crusted in black pepper. I don't like any of them as much as that Merlot one. That's the best that I've had so far. Like they're all good, but none of them stand up to like the greatness of that one. Tried ghost pepper Gouda not long back, Salem says. Was pretty tasty. Right on. That sounds like something I would try. Usually like Goudas. Yeah, I've liked, I think I've liked pretty much every Gouda that I've tried. Dipped it in Chipotle ranch. It's like $18 here now, which is why I've never bought it since. Yeah, that's outrageous. Dynamite. All right, thank you for clarifying. I said boo not cool because I was trying to point out that the thing to do is to tough it out on this old school one. Not to get a more suited controller. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I can't think of many. I can't think of many examples where I've gone looking for alternative controllers. Usually go for Swiss, Mott, cheddar, provolone, or Gouda. Is that Edam? That one is yum. Asiago is great. The Parmesan too. If you like Gouda, you would like that. All right, that's a good top five. Dead or alive, Mansta says. I will say I'm gonna if you haven't played Captain Toad, I'm gonna spoil that. I'm gonna spoil Captain Toad. So you might want to turn your volume down. I'll give you a peace sign in just a moment when I'm done spoiling Captain Toad. But here's your warning. Um, at the end of Captain Toad, the final challenge in that game is brutal. It is a brutal chase through a maze, and it is insanely difficult. It kind of ruined me. Um, for a while, I struggled with it, and the pro tip for that is that the big problem is that as you're running through the maze, you need to hold the run button, which is one of the face buttons, and you need to manipulate the camera, which you need the same thumb for. So the big pro tip for Captain Toad is reconfigure your button assignment to put your run button on the shoulder button so you can use a finger to hold the run button and use your thumb to move the camera. And like that may be cheating, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think a button reassignment for accessibility is cheating. But that will get you through Captain Toad. All right, end of spoiler. We're done. We're done with Captain Toad. Hey, Sparrow, welcome in. New phone, who this? Rip Mark. Jay, not Mark. Mark is still alive. Rip Jay. Sad for messing that one up. I don't know what we're talking about, Mile Hyrule. Don't misunderstand. I think the way you played it was great. I was referring to those who suggested post 90 controllers on this. Okay. I really want that Captain Toad on the 3DS. I played it on the Switch. I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know the 3DS version. I feel like playing it on the 3DS or the Wii U. There are a couple aspects that would be slightly better. Oh. Sorry, I kind of missed... I think I missed something there. What did I... Just making Butterfingers a mix on my channel. Mod on my channel. Why do I keep writing the wrong thing? Oh, right on. Butterfingers is kind of important on my channel now, Sparrow says. Butterfingers is kind of important on my channel too. As in, we might not be here tonight without Butterfingers. He kind of saved me. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me catch back up here, I guess, since I lost another life here. I enjoy the 3D effect, Mansta says. For that game, it'd probably be functional too. If you like the 3D effect, I think that would be a good one to play it with. I think that the design of the game lends itself really well to 3D being a plus. I'd never play with that 3D effect on with the 3DS myself. I'm not particularly crazy about it. Like, it looks kind of cool. I will, like, if I'm playing a 3DS game, turn it on every now and then just to, like, look at particular, like areas and just see the effect for a little while, but I don't actually like playing with it for the most part. Mark and Jay Briscoe are a great wrestling tag team, Mile High Rule says. Top 5 Dead or Alive, they use that saying all the time. Made me think of them. Jay died a few months ago at 38 years old. Tragic. That's tragic, Mile High Rule. Sparrow says Butterfingers tried to help by pasting a very useful link, and Automod timed him out for a very unfair amount of time. Oh no. That's I think that's like I think Budafingers got banned from our chat once because he made a comment right next to a bot, and when I went to ban the bot, I think Master Tuesday wrote something in the chat, so it scrolled, and I clicked on the wrong person, and I banned Budafingers instead of the bot. I think he's the one that happened to. That happened. That I might be misremembering the two parties involved. It wasn't an intentional like attempt to get him sniped. It was just an amusing accident. The only person that could have fixed your issue at the time was Budafingers, Sparrow says. No doubt. Double trouble. That's the saying that hip hop fans say about rappers usually, Manster says. Mile Hyrule says, no doubt. I thought that was originally one of their things. Or no idea. Alright, let's go. I believe last time I made it to this room, I believe last time I made it to this room, I had an incredibly tough time and died a whole bunch, so that's probably the start of it this time. Yep. This room's gonna ruin another run. Well, if it was this room, it could have been a room after this, in which case, then I'm in double trouble. Speaking of double trouble. Come on, give me some useful powers, game. Or better yet, give me some one-ups. Pausing this game is a really bad idea. You really lose your flow. I kind of backed myself into that corner there. A new riding mower? Come on. Oh, there's like swarm. They're like a swarm of bees. Oh, I didn't get that. I didn't get that spread shot I was going for. I thought I was dead. Oh, my kingdom for a 1-up, please. Game. Now's a good time to pause and catch up. Oh my goodness. That's brutal. Use the buffalo gun. My weapon did not protect me as effectively as I had hoped it would. No! I gotta get out of this corner! Agony. Marius, welcome in. Hey, and Raiders, welcome in. Old School McFly, thank you for the raid. Pleasure to have you here. We've been playing Smash TV on the NES. I think I'm kind of actually about done with this game for the night. I've been at it for 3.5 hours. So if you came in specifically for this game, I might disappoint you. I very much appreciate the raid. But yeah, we can hang out and chat about it for a moment. Tell us what you were doing on your stream. What were you up to and how did it go? And are you dual controlling it? You know it. And actually, tonight was my first night ever playing this one. I just picked this up recently and tried it out for the very first time. I have played Super Smash TV on the Super Nintendo, and I played Smash TV on the Commodore 64. But those are the only two versions. I've never played the arcade or arcade accurate port yet. I have a copy on the PlayStation 2 that I'm saving because I think that's going to be the best version of it. But I've played those two, Super Nintendo, C64. We tried this one for the first time tonight, and we made 4 or 5 runs. All of the first runs that we did, not only was I dual controlling it, I was dual NES Advantage controlling it. So I had twin joysticks. It was pretty good. It worked pretty well. Even though this Advantage here is kind of in rough shape, it didn't work at all earlier this week. I opened it up and cleaned it out, and I got the joystick working. The buttons are still messed up, but the joystick works, and that's all I needed for this game. So that was pretty good. It gets stuck a little bit, the joystick. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. It worked really well. So yeah, we did the dual Advantage. It was nice. And then the last run, the one I just lost there, I was actually using the two game pads because I wanted to try both experiences. And it's pretty good. I like it. I think it's a good, it's scaled down for 8 bits. It's pretty weak in the audio department. The music cuts out a lot. But the gameplay is there. It feels like Smash TV. There's actually a few things missing. It doesn't have the screen clear item, and it doesn't have the peanut or the buddy robot. So a couple of the items are missing, but that's all right. They made the stage 1 boss much harder, and they made the stage 2 boss much easier. And I didn't make it through stage 3. So I can't really say about that. But it was fun. I was having fun with it. I also got Super Smash TV on the Genesis. So we're gonna try that out probably next week. Oh, Tip Touches Water, welcome in. I'm sorry I missed you there. I wasn't looking at the chat for a while. The game was too intense, but happy to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Apologies, don't like to overlook people. We're gonna try the Genesis version probably next week, I think, and we're gonna do the dual controllers for that. And I'm thinking about playing it with dual, because the Genesis I can plug Atari joysticks into. So I think we're gonna do dual Atari joysticks for the Genesis. I don't have the Genesis arcade stick, but I do have lots of Atari joysticks. Genesis Smash is tough. The controls are weird. Well, I know you can. I've heard you can do the 2 controllers like with the NES on that one too. So I can't I would imagine that would be better, right? Because the Genesis controller has that circular D-pad, so I feel like the diagonals would be better. That's what I've heard. I've heard you can do that. I might be wrong. But because the port's the same, I'm gonna try the Atari joysticks, and it's gonna be horrible, but I'm gonna do it just for a laugh. Yeah, I'm gonna need to bolt the Atari joysticks onto something. maybe I could find a big thick plank of wood and bolt them onto it, and then I could operate them both. I mean, that would kind of be cheating, but I'm not in a competition with anyone, right? All right, what were you doing? I kind of missed here. I played that Alwa's Awakening on NES. I don't know what that is, McFly. Didn't realize the same guy designed Smash TV and Robotron. Totally makes sense. Robotron's super fun too, but crazy hard. I've only ever played Robotron, I think, on the Commodore 64, and only with a single joystick. So I've never really gotten a very good Robotron experience. I don't recall liking it very much, but it's at a disadvantage because of the suboptimal way I played it. Those joysticks might be okay bolted down. We'll have to find out. Ekum bokum. Chozo Brain, welcome in, Chozo. Hope you are well. All right, right, so the plan for the rest of the night is actually to play some Commodore 64 games. We did about 3.5 hours of this. That's a pretty hefty chunk. I will come back to this from time to time, but historically on the stream, Smash TV is not like it's not like a Battletoad situation where I feel like I can grind the game out and beat it. Smash TV is a game that I doubt I'm ever going to be good enough to beat. But we will pick it up and play it every now and then. And who knows? I actually have higher confidence in being able to maybe beat this version of Smash TV. I mean, I know I only made it about halfway through the game, but my big roadblock so far with the game on the Super Nintendo has been that stage 2 boss, and they made him so much easier that with this version, I might actually stand a chance. But we'll certainly play it again. Just it's not going to be an all the time kind of thing. Smash TV is a sometimes food. But yeah, why don't we switch over to the Commodore and see what kind of goodies we can find over there. This might be a bit of a rough transition here, just a heads up. Swapping capture cards and everything on the fly with the stream live historically has been somewhat problematic, so fingers crossed here, my friends. Let me actually step away from the camera for a brief moment. All right, so I'm going to need to move some of these windows around. I did a description of the Echo Foul track a while back, and I think it may have got missed. I was showing a friend and noticed it again. I think you'll get a laugh out of it. On the SoundCloud page, I probably didn't see it. Agent Frownie and his loyal brackets to soil stream viewers, including myself, endured many hours, days, weeks even, cheering with our pom-poms and obligatory blonde wig of long hair, don't ask, for him to get through the final stage of Echo the Dolphin. The final level music became etched in our memory, psyche. Perhaps under an MRI, you'll find sheet music notes of it on our brains somewhere. I wanted to make something that was rather dark and somewhat brooding. To me, this was the slow passing of a dark storm cloud, but the general consensus is instead I made something worthy of relaxing to. An assault tank, perhaps. Right on. I don't think I saw that, Sparrow. I think that does kind of sum up the experience. So we play with the C64 Mini. I like to do physical hardware and real hardware on the stream almost all the time, but I do not have the time, the talent, the finances for a physical, retro PC or microcomputer collection. So we do use an emulation box of sorts for the Mini, for the C64. I like the Mini a lot. I have had a fair amount of struggles with it. They're largely user error. Well, they're largely wanting to do extra things with it and different things with it. If you bought the C64 Mini and you're content with like the games it comes standard with and the joystick it comes with, like, I don't think you'd have any of my issues. But if you want, if you're on the quest to get more out of it, and it's worth going on that journey, but it is one with many ups and downs, and a lot of downs. If you're, oh cool, my webcam, my face cam broke, but our mic is still working. We'll get the face cam back, no worries. Yeah, the old switch it off and back on again. That's my one move. That's the only tool I have in my toolbox. I'm not an IT guy. I'm not a tech guy. Like, I like to think I'm a fairly clever guy, but the stream is ample evidence that that is not true. So this is a bad sign. I don't even have the C64 showing up on the television. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Never mind. No bad signs. Everything's good. Okay, I think our face cam is back. See if I can get a game for us here. That's not gonna work. I might break the face cam again. We still got the mic. You bet I broke it. This is my alternate camera, Sparrow. And yeah, I'm plugging and unplugging things. Okay, that was good. Maybe a tad loud. Got a delay in my audio. So switching the camera did make my problems I was having last night go away, or the night before, last night and the night before, but it's still not working perfectly. It's just it's still messing up, but it's repairing. I'm able to repair it when it messes up, is the improvement that we've experienced, whereas I was not able to do that before. I know you can't see anything right now. You're not supposed to be able to. but I'll have some video for you here very soon, hopefully. Why don't we try and play Pitfall? This is a game I've never played before. People have told me they think I would like it. I started to make a video for you about that, but then learned Budafingers had helped. He knows what I was trying to suggest as well. Oh, wow. That for, on the C64, no less. I don't think I've ever played this. I had it on the 2600. Yeah. And so, actually, to be perfectly fair, I think I did try and play this once when I was very young. I think one of my relatives had this on an Atari 2600. I was real young and I couldn't figure out how to play it. I have a vague memory. It might not even be a true memory. Okay, so this is just run and jump. There seems to be no other action. I played Pitfall 2 on the C64. That was stellar. I might have that one as well, Sparrow. Probably won't do them both in one night. That might be a bit much, but yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. I didn't actually split my VOD though. That's inconvenient. Why don't, before we really get moving, why don't we go ahead and cut the VOD here?